Good morning and welcome to our back to school edition of the Library Show. Today we have what we think will be a really good lineup for you. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming events in the fall. We will also be showing you some of the valuable resources for students. We will be talking about books, of course, both for children and for those kids going back to school for their required reading. This morning, Joe, Roxanne, and I will be talking about all of those books that we have to read every year, and kids come in the library looking for the required books and not very happy about it. Joe, what do you respond with those?
You know, when I was in high school, we had a whole list of books that were required reading. You know, my favorite book was A Tale of Two Cities. Now,
That's a good book.
That book I wanted to talk about today, but of course it was vetoed
Because we talked about it last week.
But that was my favorite book. So therefore I chose Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck.
Also another good one.
And I chose this book because it transcends time. Although it was written in the 1930s during the Depression in California, it still transcends time because the main characters in the book, you know, it was George and Lenny, and they were best friends. George felt like he had to take care of Lenny. Lenny had a mental problem. But even today, you know, and they had this big dream of moving to California.
And
you know, buying a farm, living off the fat of the land. But their dream could never come true because of the world that they lived in at that time. And still today, people have big dreams, you know, and there's no way their dream could come true because of the world we live in.
Well, now this book is still on the required reading lists, even
it's still on the required
after all this
reading
time.
list.
Why do you think that's?
And that's the reason, because it transcends time. I mean, even if you read the book today, you can see the way you're living. You can see your life in it today.
The message is still important.
Yeah.
And it's short.
Yes. Little small book. So if you want a little small, powerful book to read, this is one that you could read. Okay. You know, it has everything. It has loneliness, homelessness, you know,
it really
tragedy.
Sounds depressing for a required read.
It's depressing, it's painful, but it's life.
Okay.
Yes.
Roxanne, what books did you read whenever you were in high school?
Well, when I was given this topic, I thought of Thomas Hardy, because after I read Far from the Madding Crowd, I had to read his other novels. I read Jude the Obscured, Tess of the D'Urbervilles. I just fell in love with it. And I think it was because after I had to read Chaucer's Canterbury Tales and Shakespeare, I just couldn't understand it.
I just love those. I don't know why you didn't like those. I mean, when we had to read those.
Chaucer?
I think so, but you know,
Who knows? But I had to.
I just couldn't wait to get to class and give my interpretation because I just knew that I was right. You know, it could have been wrong, but I don't know why anybody would hate that.
I want more direct. It has, the wording in the novel has to be direct. It has to mean what it says. I don't want to have to go off and think about interpretation. I want it to say what it means.
Well,
and Hardy did that for me. I mean,
we did not have Thomas Hardy at my high school.
You missed out.
We missed out.
We didn't have to read him either, but that title, Far from the Madding Crowd, you can just see it. You can just see it if you don't read the book.
Yeah. Well, I liked To Kill a Mockingbird. I hated reading all of the other required books. This one was the one required book that I actually enjoyed reading.
Well, it's my favorite book, so it's understandable. It's really a great book.
I think it's an awesome book, too. You know, I read the book several times, but I also saw the movie.
That's what I think about the movie.
Gregory Peck, yeah.
Yeah, you know, most of these movies have been, you know, they rewrote them or produced them again with the new people. But that's one movie that's never been reproduced. You know, you still, if you see it, you still see it in black and white, and you still see Gregory Peck.
And you see Scout. She makes the perfect little character. It was a fun book. I want to say fun, but it was a good discussion of the South at that time. It showed the best of the South and the worst of the South. And when I said fun book, I thought the way she wrote was just a joy to read. It was easy to read. She talked about using words of just 2 syllables to make her point.
That's probably why I liked it. It was simple
And
and to
kids
the
still
point.
have to read that now. But, and at the library, children come in, they're really desperate for that book. If we don't have the book that's on the list, we want you to come in and
We can help you find something or find it somewhere else. We can get it
we
for
have,
you.
we have paperback copies. And Roxanne, you brought a resource for the students for their required reading.
I did. When we were given this topic, it's been a while since I've been in high school, and I couldn't really quite remember what the book was about. So I had to grab novels for students. And in it, it gives you a quick summary of the book. It gives you themes. It compares and contrasts.
Can
Gives
I
you
read that
characterization.
instead of the book?
You should not read that instead of the book. This should be to enhance your knowledge of especially if you're going to write a paper on it. It'll give you some ideas of what to do.
It will also give you the opinion of others too. You know, experts who have written papers and even dissertations about the theme of these books. You can get some of their opinions too to help you understand, especially if you read a book and you really don't know what it's talking about.
A lot of times after I've read a book, I'll read about the book and discover things that I had not known were there, particularly whenever I was a high school student
Yeah,
or
just
a college
like your
student.
book, Roxanne, Far from the Madding Crowd. You know, it talks about the theme in that book
It does.
is a relevant theme with teenagers today.
It's unrequited love. I probably said that wrong, but it's love for another person that's not returned. And that's a big thing in high school.
Well,
That's
yeah,
where
I had unrequited love in high school.
And even there's a song by one of the famous songwriters.
Taylor Swift has a new one, You Belong With Me, where she talks about he's in love with the cheerleader, but she's in the bleachers. So, you know, it's still a common theme
So
today.
even though Thomas Hardy is not one of the better known authors on the required reading list, he's still worth exploring, do you
He's
think?
worth exploring. I mean,
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
Yeah, and all of these books, all of the old books, you know, there's other books, Moby Dick and all those kind of books, you know, some are small, some are large, but they're still interesting reading and they're well written.
Well, we wish all of the students out there good luck with their required reading for the fall.
And remember to come visit us at the library. We'll help you find what you need to read, and we have other resources too. And be sure to stay tuned for the library, more of the library show.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
You know, I gotta make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve
No,
it.
thank you. That's really not necessary.
No, come here.
Welcome back to the Library Show. I'm Julia, and I'm here with my buddy Shannon.
Hi.
We are going to talk to you today about a few things going on this fall at the library. A lot of people think that when school comes back in, there's nothing to do at the library. No reason to go back, right? But
They
that's totally
couldn't be
wrong.
more wrong.
That's right.
Couldn't be more wrong.
There's so much to do at the library this fall. And so we're going to tell you about a few things going on at your library. So many things. I can't get over it. So first up, though, we want to tell you about the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit happening at the Powder Springs Library through August the 27th. This exhibit is on loan from the Kennesaw State University Museum of History and Holocaust Education, and it's amazing.
It is. You're already going to the library. It's free to see. You don't have to pay anything.
That's right.
Why not go see it?
Absolutely, and you can learn so much about these amazing men who really just they were so important for our history. Just really, really cool. So
Absolutely.
definitely go check that out. All right. Another exhibit that you can't miss is the one over at the East Cobb Library, and that is a glass mosaic exhibit from Julie Mazzoni. I don't want to get her name wrong. She's actually a trained architect, but she makes these amazing glass mosaics. Really, really cool and so pretty.
I can't wait to go see that.
I know. Have you ever done a mosaic?
We did at the library last summer. We sure did.
You're so
Yep.
talented.
It was fun.
All right, the other event that we wanted to talk about is one about stress-free mealtimes. So the UGA Cooperative Extension, if you haven't checked them out, they have a ton of really, really great events. And so we partner with them on different events throughout the year. And so they are coming to do a couple of different ones. Actually, the first one's going to be on Thursday, August 21st. Starts at 2 o'clock. You do need to call the library to register, and it is at the Powder Springs Library. But this one is on stress-free mealtimes. So if you, as soon as I saw saw this, I thought about you because I thought, we both have kids. So mealtime is always super stressful. So I thought if there's anything that I can learn, right?
If they can teach me how to feed more to my baby than the dog
Right.
at mealtime, then I need to know.
Can they teach me how to get my kid to eat anything other than chicken nuggets?
I
don't
hope
know.
so.
They have another one coming up in August as well. It's August 28th, and it's called Color Me Healthy. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be talking about some different vegetables and getting a whole range of colors, and that's so important.
Yes.
So what can you feed your baby? He's 8 months now.
He eats everything.
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 Do you eat his food too? Because I know a lot of moms will eat the
His
the
food is
banana
better
stuff.
than mine, I think.
it's
The
pretty
puffs
good.
are really good.
I wonder if they're going to cover that.
Probably not.
All right, so excuse me. Another event that we wanted to talk about is the Southern Order of Storytellers. It's their second annual storytelling workshop, and this is going on for youth and adults. It's free and open to the public at the Schweitzer Library on Saturday, August the 30th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And storytelling is so important, and I know you're such a good storyteller. Do you have any tips for folks?
Thank you. You have to love it.
Yeah.
You have to, leave any prejudice at the door. Go with it. Don't worry about what other people think, and have fun.
Have fun, absolutely.
Have fun.
Have fun. Shannon always tells good stories during her story time, so.
Thank you.
That one is, RSVP is required for that event, so definitely either go online or call the library for more information about that one. So, also in September, so that was a bit of stuff about August, right? But there's more information on our website. It's cubcats.org/calendar. September though, some fun things coming up.
Library card sign-up month.
So good. Always fun stuff. There's so many things you can do with your library card, and a lot of people
Yes.
don't know that.
Yes.
So it's a good time to come back into the library and learn all about that.
Come ask your librarian everything you can do with your card. It's not just checking out books.
That's right. We've got all kinds of fun things. People are always surprised to learn that we have downloadable magazines. We have classes, and we've heard Cindy talk about the classes
Yes.
over the a couple of library show episodes. You can check out a Zoo Pass. So
Right.
All these fun things you can do with a library card. So if you don't have one, September's a good time.
Come get one.
And of course, we can't leave out all of the libraries will be closed for Labor Day. Always important. It's nice to have a day off,
A
right?
day off. A long
Yes,
weekend.
A long weekend. So that's Monday, September the 1st. So don't forget about that. You can find more information about everything that's on our calendar, and it's cubcat.org/calendar. So don't go away. There's more of the library show and of Shannon coming up after this.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time.
One book can be the funniest little thing. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Beth. Can you believe it's already time to go back to school? The summer reading program may be over, but that doesn't mean we should stop reading. We've brought some fun school books that we hope you'll enjoy. My first book is a brand new book called Dinosaur vs. School, and it's by Bob Shea, whom I adore. Dinosaur is starting preschool, and with school comes new challenges, like making friends and making crafts with googly eyes. Is Dinosaur up for the challenge? And are you ready to roar when you read this book? Okay, Shannon, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Roar! Yeah, we win.
I love Dinosaur, but have you ever heard of Skippy John Jones? He's everyone's favorite Siamese cat who thinks he's a Chihuahua. In Skippy John Jones, Class Action by Judy Schachner, Skippy John wants nothing more than to go to school, but Mama says school's no place for a cat, it's only for the dogs. Does that stop Skippy John? Nope. He packs his backpack and heads off to school. He goes to art class, music class, even French class. And when the school bully shows up, it's up to Skippy John Jones to take care of him. But I don't think it'll end the way you think it will.
I have another brand new book for you, and it's called Choose First Day of School, and it was written by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Adam Rex, another illustrator and author I love. It's actually the sequel to Choose Day, which, if you haven't read it, you really should because it's really funny. On Choose First Day of School, Chew the panda, that's the back of the book, here's the front. Chew the panda is worried about meeting the other kids in the class. Chew's teacher asks everyone in the class to say their name and share something they love to do. And From the very first line of this book, we learned that there was a thing that Chew could do. Can you guess what it is?
If you've been to school before, you know all about School Picture Day. It's when you dress up, smile nice, and get your picture taken at school. The little boy in this book, Picture Day Perfection by Deborah Deason, decides he's going to take the perfect school picture. But then everything goes wrong. He wakes up with the worst case of bedhead, and he gets maple syrup in his hair at breakfast. His favorite shirt is dirty and has stains on it. He gets in trouble on the bus and in class, and during art, he gets paint everywhere. His perfect picture is ruined. Or is it? I can't give away the ending, but I think you'll agree this is one crazy school picture day.
Speaking of pictures, this next book is full of photographs of puppies. It's called Doggone School, and it's a poetry book by Amy and Ron Schmidt. The poems are all about school, and they're all really short. And each page is full of puppies doing adorable school things like reading, math, science, and of course, lunch. This is a fabulous book to get you excited about going back to school, or as this book calls it, bark to school.
Have you ever heard of show and tell? It's when you bring something special to school to share with your class. In Knuffle Bunny 2, A Case of Mistaken Identity by Mo Willems, Trixie decides to bring her Knuffle Bunny to pre-K to share with her class. But, uh-oh, Sonia's Knuffle Bunny looks just like Trixie's Knuffle Bunny, and the two girls are not happy that they have the same bunny. When they can't get along during school, their teacher takes the rabbits and doesn't give them back until class is over. But there's been a terrible mistake. Can Trixie and Sonia put aside their differences to make things right? I sure hope so. We hope you've enjoyed our school books that we brought to share with you today. You can find all of them at your local Cobb County Public Library or on our website, www.cobbcat.org. Stay tuned, there's more of the library show coming up after this.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Hello and welcome back to the Library Show. I'm Nicole and today I'm here with my friend Cindy, and it's that time of year again where school is about to start. So we're going to talk about some back to school resources to help parents prepare their young kids for school. Cindy's going to talk about some online resources, and I'm going to talk about some out of the box resources parents might think about. So Cindy, what you got for us?
Well, I have some online resources that I want to recommend. The great thing is that these online resources are available 24/7, because I know we've all had that experience when your child comes to you and the library's closed and they say, I have to write a essay on this historical figure. Yes. Well, library's closed. What do? Well, no problem. You go to the website. We're going to put a slide up on the screen to show you. Library website, go to that, and it's under the e-library collection as where you find these online resources. There's a list of subjects there. You want education in that list. So you pick it, and that will take you to the first resource that I want to recommend, which is the Student Resources in Context. I love this resource because it's kind of like the one-stop shopping for any kind of project or research that your child needs to do. Covers a myriad of subjects: science, biographies, literature, on and on and on. And the great thing about this resource is it works kind of like Google, so kids are familiar with that, easy to use. And when they put a subject in there, it'll bring back great things like articles, articles, primary sources, which a lot of the teachers require, which are like interviews and speeches. And it also has videos and podcasts in it, which are wonderful too, like the NBC and NPR little segments on subjects, which are really great to use. I've got one example that I'll put up on the screen for our viewers, and that is if your child has to research something like the Declaration of Independence. they get an actual picture of that document. Plus, they get this historical background on it, on the people that signed it, you know, all that good background information of how it came to be. So that's just one example. There's so many others, but we don't have time to go into all of them.
I was going to mention, I love student resources and context because it helps you with citation.
Yes,
when you're doing
that's
your
right.
bibliographies, you need the proper format, and it'll help the kids cite their sources as well.
Right.
Yeah.
One-stop shopping,
Yes.
like I said. Then the second online resources that I want to recommend to you, and I've got a slide to show you just what that looks like. It again is found in the eLibrary collection on the website. It's called Learning Express Library, and I've talked about this several times because it's a huge resource. It has a lot of different, they're organized into centers. They've got centers, and it's for all ages, not just for, you know, people in elementary school, middle school, and high school, but even adult learners. But we're going to focus on the school age. And for the school age, it has practice sets in all kind of subjects, things like the basic skills of math, reading, and writing. But then as the student gets older, there's things like trigonometry, calculus, social studies, vocabulary, spelling. And really love these, the way the website is organized. You have it organized into the different grade levels. You just click on it and there's all those resources available. And it's all about practice, practice, practice. And I know one of your sons you use the math module with.
Absolutely. And you know, student achievement in math is a hot topic in the news today. And what a great resource to get on Learning Express Library and do some tutorials and some practice exercises to get prepared for school.
Right, right. Great supplement to what they're learning at school. Absolutely. And another little component of this is if your child is getting ready to go to college, there are the test preparation modules too, where they can get ready to take the SAT and the ACT. So it's a great resource. We don't have time to talk about all the wonderful things in it, but go to the website. In that eLibrary collection, not only is there Learning Express Library and student resources and context, but many, many more resources. So check that out or come into the library and talk with us, and we'll tell you more about that.
Yeah.
What have you got for us, Nicole?
Well, I wanted to talk about something a little different. I wanted to talk about graphic novels, because graphic novels have taken the literary world by storm lately. And some smart publishers have come up with graphic novels that are for nonfiction subjects. So I wanted to share that with you as sort of a supplement tool to use with your learning. So this is an example of one. This is called Cell Life, and you can see in the example this character Max is actually traveling through a cell. And this is in graphic novel format. You and I, back in the day, would have probably called it a comic book.
A comic book, yeah.
Right, but now the libraries refer to them as graphic novels, and they're visually interesting and written in a fun and interesting way. But
and there's the key right there.
Yeah, that they have fun with it, but the kids are actually learning things. And I picked this one on cells because I remember when my kids were learning about cells, and I came across some words that I remember them learning: interphase, prophase, metaphase. Do you remember learning about that kind of stuff?
No, but
I don't either.
I need to read that book.
Yeah, but it's in here. And so the terminology, those are definitely some things that kids are going to need to learn when they're learning about cell structure and cell metabolism. And it's in this book in a fun and interesting way. And there's several different ones. So I brought a couple to show you. There's one on decoding genes and one on viruses. It's a number of different topics that they have these graphic novels on. And it's not going to take the place of the hours of learning that the students get in school, but it'll be a great supplement.
It's a fun supplement, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
They
way
can
to
have fun with
introduce new
learning.
subjects, and they even have biographies, so you can introduce them to interesting historical figures. This is Louis Pasteur and Wilma Rudolph, and This one is on George Washington, and I even found one on Elvis I thought I would bring to show you that it goes through different genres and different areas. So you can find an interesting biography also. And even something like, I saw one even on the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, which is interesting, you know, that a student might be interested in learning about the Bermuda Triangle. So the subjects are very vast in how they provide these. But the library has a lot of these nonfiction graphic novels. And I just encourage parents to try it out and encourage their students to give it a try and see if it helps with some learning as they get prepared for
your child
school.
won't even know they're learning. That's the great thing.
Yeah.
They're having fun.
They're having fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's all we have time for today's segment. We'll be right back with more of the Library Show.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities. To ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give.
Advocate. Volunteer. Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Well, thanks so much for being with us on this episode of The Library Show. Remember, you can find out more about all the things going on at your library at the library website, which is cobcat.org, or come into your local branch today. I've come up with a wonderful quote from Anna Quinlan, the writer. I found this the other day about the wonderful thing about books. Books are the plane and the train and the road. They are the destination and the journey. They are home. See you next time.
Each year, our children are put at risk by drivers who ignore bus stop arms and warning lights. In Cobb County alone, more than 1,000 drivers ignore them every day. The Cobb Police Department and Cobb Schools have partnered with Operation Stop Arm to educate drivers about the new law to save lives.
Tragically, a young child was killed at a bus stop by a passing car in 2009.
While we were being interviewed by the news crew, a driver ran through the stop arm of the bus.
We had just installed new stop arm cameras on some of our buses and were able to hand the photo over to law enforcement. And now, with the new law, hopefully we will reduce violations of the stop arm law and have additional evidence to cite violators.
Drivers who pass a school bus with a stop arm activated can receive up to a $1,000 fine from the court and get 6 points tacked onto their driver's history. It is a serious offense.
So next time you're in a hurry and you're tempted to pass a stop school bus,
This is my computer.
This is your computer. Let's go on the internet.
Let's go. Click it.
Yes.
Okay.
I cursor in between the R and the E. When I say dot, I want you to just push the period.
She's gonna love me all over again now.
That's it. Jamaica, here you come.
Here we go.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I did it by myself. Feel smarter.